What if I told you that this fall, the biggest trend isn't even a trend? It's a shift, a complete rejection of the fashion chaos we've seen over the last few years. The micro trends, the hypersexual silhouettes, the try-hard looks designed only for Instagram. Over. People are waking up because in 2025, no one wants to look cheap anymore. We want to look powerful, admired, untouchable, not for how much skin we show, but for the elegance we command without saying a word. This is not about minimalism, it's about mystique, it's about presence. This is the GTWJ Fall 2025 Fashion Report, the real one, with a deep dive into what's actually happening in fashion right now and what it psychologically says about who we are and what we want. And if you're new here, make sure you're following our Instagram at GTWJMag. We break this down in real time with fashion storytelling you won't find anywhere else. Let's get into it. This fall, trend reports that just say red is trending or get a leather coat completely miss the point. It's not just what we're wearing, it's how we want to be perceived. And this season, perception is everything. The biggest fashion trends right now are about aura. Not attention, not sex appeal, aura. Let's start with power without provocation. We're seeing a rise in tailored elegance. Fitted blazers, dramatic coats, long skirts, sculpted knits. Think Bottega Fall 2025, the Row and Kite. These silhouettes don't scream, they speak. They hint at power, discipline and discretion. And that's exactly why they're dominating. Why? Because the culture is shifting. There's fatigue around revealing clothing being used as the default image of empowerment. This fall, real empowerment is quiet, not desperate. Real luxury isn't skin deep, it's crafted. And women are dressing to be remembered, not sexualized, not for the male gaze, but for the kind of presence that gets you photographed walking out of a gallery or a boardroom. That's the energy. Next, the return of intentional layering. From Miu Miu to Ferragamo, layering is making a comeback, but not in the chaotic, TikTok core kind of way. This is controlled. Scarves that drape with precision, turtlenecks under sheer slip dresses, long line coats with hidden fastenings. It's giving modern day elegance. Almost like we're dressing for intimacy, but not in a revealing way, in a thoughtful, protective, soulful way. You can feel the shift in the silhouettes. We're covering more, but we're revealing character, personality, complexity. And that's way more powerful than cleavage. Then there's stealth drama, not maximalism, not quiet luxury either. This is different. Picture Lowe's fall show, oversized silhouettes, sculptural shoes, exaggerated proportions, but done in neutral tones. It's a way of saying, I know how to be dramatic, I just don't need color to do it. It's this tension that's so magnetic. It's confident, and it signals a new kind of fashion fluency. A fashion girl that doesn't need to shout. She can wear grey and still be the most unforgettable person in the room. Color story of the season? Deep earth and dust tones. We're moving away from loud Barbie pinks and optic whites. Instead, it's all about grounding shades, charcoal, slate, chocolate brown, deep navy, and moss. These aren't just colors, they're feelings. They reflect how we want to feel, rooted, strong, thoughtful. It's like we're craving stillness after overstimulation, and our wardrobes are adjusting accordingly. Fabrics are getting heavier. We're going from silk to suede, from mesh to cashmere. You'll notice that fashion's becoming less about visual impact and more about tactile depth. Even in runway shows, whether it's Saint Laurent or Max Mara, the textures are rich, the fabrics have memory, and nothing looks disposable. And that's exactly the point. Disposable isn't luxury. That goes for clothing and personas. Let's talk accessories. This fall, you'll see fewer logo bags and more structural top handles. Think Alaïa's Le Teckle or the Rose Margot. Clean, quiet, and expensive looking without screaming I'm rich. Jewelry is also getting more sculptural, less dainty, more meaningful. A single statement earring, a heavy cuff. Pieces that look like they could belong in a museum, because they probably could. And shoes? Covered, strong, elegant. Ballet flats are still around, but they've grown up. We're seeing sharper toes, rich textures, subtle hardware. The vibe is, I have a driver, not an Uber. Even boots are getting more refined, less chunky combat, more buttery leather knee-highs with sharp heels, less stomping, more gliding. So what does this all mean? Fall 2025 isn't about blending in or standing out. It's about rising above. The real trend this season isn't a color or a cut or a designer. It's self-respect. People are done with throwaway fashion, with attention-hungry looks, with needing to show skin just to feel seen. And that's why brands like The Row and Kite have quietly become icons, because their message isn't "look at me," it's "you'll never forget me." That's the energy people are craving. That's the energy we're dressing for. And at GTWJ, we're going to keep talking about this shift, honestly, gracefully, deeply. Because fashion isn't just what we wear, it's how we choose to move through the world. Follow us at GTWJ Mag on Instagram for more insight like this, and I'll see you in the next video. And that brings us to the final truth of fall 2025. Dressing well isn't about chasing validation. It's about commanding respect without asking for it. People are tired of outfits that scream instead of speak, tired of trying to prove confidence with cutouts and viral silhouettes. This season, we're seeing the return of dignity as the statement. The rise of quiet but intentional brands like The Row, Kate, La Mer and Peter Do is no accident. These aren't trend brands, they're a cultural correction. They represent what fashion is becoming: elegant, educated and elevated. Clothes that don't need to show skin to show power. Outfits that carry the energy of someone who is not trying to be seen, but can't be ignored. There's a reason GWJ exists, because we're not just watching trends, we're analysing what they mean. We're asking why these shifts are happening, why minimalism suddenly feels more modern than ever, why strong shoulders, long coats and structured trousers are what women are turning to in 2025. It's because the old formula stopped working. You can't fake status anymore. You can't buy power with a logo bag and a mini skirt. What people are really drawn to now is restraint, subtlety, self-possession, that quiet confidence of knowing exactly who you are and dressing accordingly. So if you want to know what's really trending this fall, it's discernment. It's owning fewer things but better ones. It's being seen as intelligent, not just hot. It's a return to earned admiration. And that's what we'll keep talking about here on GTWJ, because this isn't just about what's in fashion, it's about who we're becoming through it. Follow us on Instagram, GTWJ Mag, for more breakdowns, updates and real style conversations. See you in the next one. And before you go, I want you to really think about this. What does your outfit say when you walk into a room before you even speak? Because in fall 2025, fashion is no longer just a look, it's a language, and women speaking it fluently aren't the ones chasing visibility, they're the ones mastering presence. That's why we're seeing long line coats with sharp tailoring, rich knitwear layered like armor, deep browns and greys replacing flashy prints. Not because these pieces are trendy, but because they speak to something deeper: control, intention, inner strength. Even at shows like Bottega, Ferragamo and Max Mara, the tone was unified. Clothing that respects the woman wearing it. Clothing that doesn't beg to be liked. At Kite, it was about mysterious sensuality, silhouettes that gave power without taking anything away. At The Row, the message was clear: perfection isn't loud, it's studied. Their collections weren't trying to win the internet, they were dressing women who already won in real life. The best dressed women this fall, they aren't styled by TikTok, they're styled by instinct. And they know that looking expensive isn't about money, it's about decisiveness. They choose navy over neon, structure over trend chasing, and mystery over exposure. Because being admired for your style hits different when you know it came from refinement, not just a haul. So yes, fall 2025 has trends. But the real movement, it's that women are stepping into fashion with more depth, more clarity, more sovereignty. GTTWJ isn't just reporting on it, we're living it. And we're just getting started. Follow at GTWJ Mag for the full breakdowns, style decoding, and stories behind the silhouettes you'll see everywhere this season. And don't forget to comment, what's your fall 2025 aesthetic? What are you stepping into this season? See you in the next one. And if no one's told you this yet, looking elegant in 2025 is rebellious. Because the culture has spent years telling women that empowerment looks like exposure. That confidence is about how much you show, not how deeply you're seen. But fall 2025 flips that script. We're entering an era where fashion is reclaiming discretion, where being put together isn't old-fashioned, it's powerful. where the softest fabrics carry the sharpest messages, and the most unforgettable looks don't scream, they linger. Think a woman in a long chocolate wool coat walking silently into a room, a high collar, leather gloves, clean bun, no logos, no noise. But every eye turns, because that is presence. That's why rich textures are dominating this season. Structured alpaca, cashmere, velvet with depth, glossy patent boots worn with precision. Every piece this fall is about weight, not just physical, but psychological. It's the weight of being taken seriously. It's why we're seeing belts worn high to define power. Long skirts instead of minis, not to hide, but to claim space differently. It's why color stories are getting darker, richer, forest green, oxblood, slate, because this season isn't about fantasy, it's about reality done elegantly. And if you're wondering what to avoid this fall, anything that screams desperation. You'll notice the shift. Micro-trends are fading, overly cut out, bodycon, gimmicky viral pieces are losing steam, because real style doesn't beg for likes, it builds legacy. This is the GTWJ ethos, dressing not to be consumed, but to be respected. So whether your fall mood is minimalist Milanese or Parisian mystery, step into it fully. Because this season isn't about trends dictating your style, it's about using fashion to reflect who you've become. And you've evolved. So let your wardrobe do the same. Make sure you're following @GTWJ Mag for more fashion psychology, deep dives, and decoding the style language of this new elegant era. Fall 2025 is here, and this time, we're the ones writing the rules.